care to read a prayer for us?
Sure. I was reading this one yesterday, so I thought I would read it tonight. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon. Where there is friction, let me sow union. Where there is error, let me sow truth. Where there is doubt, let me sow faith. Where there is despair, let me sow new hope. Where there is darkness, let me sow light. Where there is sadness, let me sow joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Clerk Boson, you want to call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Shake? Here. Trustee Clausen?
Here.
Trustee Bonomo?
Here.
Trustee Rivera?
Here.
Supervisor Ballard?
Here.
We have a quorum.
It doesn't look like we have any public comments. Is that correct?
No one has signed in. Correct.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next thing. Clerk Boson's report.
Okay. If someone could please make a motion to approve the December 9th, 2024 monthly Township Board meeting minutes.
I'll start the motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, thank you. Motion passes. All right, and I just wanted to let everyone know we are going to be hosting the Pet Fest again come Saturday, June 14th, 2025. And we're hoping that we're going to be able to do it at the Civic Center, which we're really excited that it should hopefully be complete by then, or at least there'll be enough room to do it outside without any construction traffic. So, so we're starting the planning stages of the Pet Fest. And that concludes my report.
Okay, next report is supervisor's report, and I have two things that are not on the agenda, but we're not going to be voting on them. Just want to start the process to move forward. The first thing is County Executive Bertino Tarrant. She's heading up, because it's a county plan for book reading. So it's the Dolly Parton Foundation, and anybody who wants any of these things, they're on the table here. And what it is that children from 1 to 5 will get a book mailed to their house every month, and then the parents can read it, or the relatives or whoever, or the kids can just look at the pictures. And there will be, they won't be controversial stuff with anything political or anything woke or any of that kind of stuff. It's just going to be a normal children's book with pictures and words. So county executive was talking about this at Lockport Township at the chamber, and I talked to her and I said that this is a good program, so we'll do it at ours. So we're gonna, we got this on our website, and they have a fundraiser if anyone's interested. It's on our website. And then next month, we maybe just make, solidifying with a vote. I don't know. I have to talk to the trustees. And the next thing is Angel Shake and Heidi Priscilla. We're talking at our town hall meeting that we had about schooling, helping like programs for young kids. And Heidi teaches nature programs, looking at the trees and describing which tree it is and whatever else. And Angel's familiar with school pods. And with that, Angel, do you want to say anything about this? 'Cause I'm asking you to chair the thing with Heidi.
No, I did reach out to a few of the homeschool parents, and pods are pretty much set up for this next coming semester, but some people were interested in maybe getting a pod together once a week instead of a permanent pod right now. So as soon as Heidi and I can have some things we were hoping to do, since we're going to do it at the town hall right now in the smaller pod, we're hoping to do maybe a sourdough class for the kids, and then a holistic essential oil medicine class for the kids.
And you were talking about teaching them how to cook too.
Right. Or that's why we're going to try to do the sourdough class and teach them how to do the starters and bake the bread.
Okay, so that's something we're gonna be voting on next month. Angel's gonna have to put it together, and so far, it'll just be like a task force of 2 people. And if they need more, Angel will reach out.
Yeah, as soon as we get information on it, I will send it out through the township email.
Okay, the next thing is discussion of 143rd Street. And where we're at right now is the lawyers for the county, they said that the township doesn't have standing again, and so they're going to have the hearing on the 27th of January, and we have an actual judge that's the same judge all the time now, so we call him a special prosecutor. So now it's going to start happening where they have to make decisions whether or not it goes forward. Our lawyers think that we do have standing, and they say we don't, so that's the argument. Don't know which way it's going to land, but our lawyers are pretty confident that we do have standing. Okay, so that's that, so there'll be another update in February. And then we just finished one town hall. We're doing 3 town halls for the Civic Center, and we did the first one at Butler School, and then that was on January 9th. And the next one is January 28th at Goodings Grove. And then the last one is at Oak Prairie on February 11th. And what these town halls are about is uses for the Civic Center. So any ideas people have on what we could do in there, who we could bring in. If anyone has any ideas of how we can get more money in here so that we can finish the project off, we're going to have it open, but it won't have the kitchen. And we just got a donation for a pickleball court from Colossian Structures. So we will have a pickleball court in there, and we'll have an area for the seniors to do stuff. But we won't have the special needs basketball until we get the money for it, and we won't have a kitchen until we get the money for it. And there'll be some other stuff, but the whole point is we've said it from the beginning. We will only do what we can afford. We're not going to raise property taxes, period. So everyone can go tell their neighbors and stuff, there is no tax increase from Homer Township. We're not doing that. So we're finding ways to get stuff done without raising their taxes, and it's a real important thing because I don't know if anybody else could pull all this stuff off. Because of this board up here, I want everybody to know this, listen to this video. You're looking at a savings of the township for the work that they do for their township pay, which is like $7,000. They're saving close to $700,000 in fees that we would have to pay outside vendors to come in and do. So when you think about that, if these guys can do it, and I call it a volunteer. Mr. Porfilio, he's an engineer, so he does all the engineering for the road district himself and then signs off on it. We don't hire H.R. Green or White or any of them companies to come in and do that. And you have to be a certified engineer to do it. So that's where that is. And then you go over to next one over here is Angel Shake. She is the project manager for the senior housing. It's a $2.2 million project. She doesn't get paid extra to do that. She's there every single day, every day. So I just want everyone to hear all this because we said it, but we never were as blunt as what I am right now. And you go to Mike Bonomo, he takes off of work so he can run the senior program. If Mike wasn't here, they'd have to hire a director that gets 90 grand or 120 grand, somewhere in that vicinity. Mike is saving the township all that money. Then you go to Mr. Clausen. Okay, Mr. Clausen is in charge of the Civic Center construction. That's $2.6 million. Figure out how much money that's saving us. Because he's the project manager there. And he doesn't get paid extra. He does it because he loves the community the same as the rest of us. So I just want to point that out real clear, because people are giving me a lot of baloney about what I say. And if they could, I challenge anybody, call me on the phone if you think it's not true. Call me on the phone, I'll show you the documents. Because these guys all deserve to be praised for all the hard work they're doing. With that, I'm going to move on to the next one. We're going to have a program in, is it 7? Okay, on January 23rd, we're going to do How to Keep Your Children Safe Online. It's a presentation at the Homer Junior High, and it's done by a gentleman named Rich Kosaki, and it's a partnership between the township and the school district, because, again, the township has connections, so we can get this guy at a reasonable price. The school would have to pay probably triple. So the school was extremely happy to partner with us to do it. And that's going to be January 23rd at the Homer Junior High. And right now, Mr. Bonomo is in contact with District 205, and he's trying to set something similar up over there, and I think it's almost, the agreement's almost all together, where we're partnering with the schools. And when we partner with the schools, we're saving taxpayer dollars again, just so everybody knows. When we partner with all these people, we're saving you money, and we're offering a really good service. Then I need a motion to approve zoning case ZC, that's a tongue twister, 24106, for numerous variances on construction of a pool house. And I think we had a, when everyone responded to me, when I talked with them, there was one person that thought there was too many variances, and the other ones all thought if it was good for the neighborhood, that we should let it go. So we're going to have to call for a vote on this thing.
Okay, can we start that motion, please?
Are you doing a discussion or a vote?
Yeah, go ahead and discuss it.
Yeah. We can do a motion first and then.
You got to get a
discussion.
motion in a second.
Okay, I'll make that motion. And I'll second the motion.
All right, discussion? Any discussion? No? Okay.
Well, go ahead, you go ahead, Mike, you want to say a few
Did you want to
things?
say anything,
I got
Mike?
a few things to say.
I will say that I believe that I went over the drawings, I went over what was submitted, and I believe it matches the area. There are certain variances that I don't believe are that far out of line, but it matches the neighboring houses, and there's no protest from the neighbors as well, so that's why I voted yes.
Yeah, the big thing we got to look at that comes out of this case and the review of this case is the zoning code is very old in this area. It was before some of the new homes were built, and it's out of date. So the zoning ordinances that we have and the zoning rules that we have need to be looked at by the zoning board and updated for this area of the township. That's all I got. Because like Mike said, the big thing is that how does the neighborhood react to it? And if you go to the neighbors and the neighbors all accept it the way it is, and it's going to enhance their property values, it's going to be good for the community, then we got to look at the zoning code and updating it. So the variances should pass through. So I'm good with this.
Okay.
I will add one quick thing. It is an absolutely gorgeous place. It's beautiful.
Harvey, Mike,
It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's an asset to the community.
Okay, any other comments?
Okay,
Call the vote.
All right, I'll take a roll call. Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Trustee Clausen?
Yes.
Trustee Shea? Yes. Supervisor Ballage?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes, thank you.
Okay, the last one over here, motion to approve resolution 2025-013-RES1, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Lockport Township Park District to approve the resolution to. So, what that is we started in 2021, about 3 months into our term, trying to make a deal with Lockport City and Lockport Park District and Homer Township. And there was all kinds of snags because there was two different, it was it was Homer Township, and it was Lockport Township, and it was Lockport. So you had 3 entities that were involved with this thing. And the main goal of the whole thing was to make sure we had a place for the Lockport Junior Porters to have a field. And so we went, Mr. Porfilio and myself went there, got 10, 15 times, and looked at it, and we came up with ideas. We met with Lockport's zoning people, we met with the park district, and then they met with Lockport, and everybody kept pulling their hair out of their head trying to figure out how we can get this done, because nobody's zoning and nobody's rules corresponded. And that's why it took so long, because we had to figure out a way. So last year, which sounds crazy that it took this long, but last year I figured out a way to do it. So I approached the 2 entities, and everybody said it was a great idea. So what the idea is, we're squaring off the Homer Township portion that the junior porters play football in, and they're cheerleading and all that stuff. So the junior porters have the Homer Township portion that they're going to be using, and the Lockport portion is going to go to Lockport Township Park District. So there's 3 soccer fields over there, and it's a big giant piece of land. I don't remember how many acres it is offhand. But we have a small portion in the front for the junior porters, so they will have a permanent home to go to. No one's going to kick them out. And then the rest of it is, they're already making plans to build a road going in there all the way to the back by the soccer fields. And it's going to be an extremely nice park, but it'll be mostly Lockport Township Park District and that little portion that the junior porters are using. So anyway, I just got the signed documents this morning. We voted on it last month to approve it, and I went over there and told them, hey, I got to have the signed documents for our board. So Bill Reardon from the Park District was real happy to do it, signed the papers, because his board already approved it too. So with that, I need a motion to approve the resolution and the intergovernmental agreement.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I'll take a roll call. Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Trustee Shake?
Yes.
Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Clausen?
Yes.
Supervisor Ballard?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, Highway Commissioner Porfilio, your report.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody. Item A, annual road district roadway and infrastructure assessment. I performed it over the last couple of months, where I reevaluate all the roadways, all the bridges, the lighting, the signs, the culverts that are within our 19 miles of right-of-way. And next month I'll be announcing which streets will be repaved for 2025 roadway improvement program. Item B, winter plowing and salt. We are at the end of our reserves finally after 7 salt events. We have another 300 that's coming on reserve, so we have plenty of salt for the winter. It's blended salt, by the way, which works up to 30 degrees below zero. Raw salt only works down to about 30 degrees, so we paid a couple extra bucks a ton to get blended salt. I'm reminding people, please not to park in the street when we have snowfall events. We've had to call the police 3 times already this year for people to move their cars that refuse to move their cars. However, we keep telling people this, and we have to do that because if people park on both sides of the street, there's not enough room to get our plows through. And for the people that want the street plowed, that aren't parking in the street, they need to move their cars. But we haven't had very many. Like I said, we've only had to call the police 3 times. We have 4 trucks equipped with salt spreaders and plows. We typically have 2 that are out and about. If we have a heavy snowfall, we'll call on a 3rd truck to be out there, where we use people from the township staff that have their CDLs to drive the 3rd truck. So that's not a problem. We did it last year, worked out fantastic. We don't have to hire part-time people or anything like that. It's no cost to the taxpayer. The 2025 Road District Signing Program, we're performing over the winter. We're upgrading all the signs in the entire road district to the new 2023 National MUTCD standards for reflectivity, for size, for location. It's a big undertaking, but we're going to be doing it over the wintertime, and we'll be putting in the new signs and posts next year. Item D, the Smith Road Long Run Creek Bridge replacement. Phase 1 has been approved. It took about a year and a half, but it's done. So we'll be moving on to Phase 2 design shortly. We'll be selecting a different design consultant that did the Phase 1. That's the best way for QA/QC to be performed on it. Again, this project is funded 80% by IDOT, 7% by the Road District of Lockport Township, another 7% by the City of Lockport, and only 7% by your road district. Again, saving taxpayers money. Lastly, we had the Homer Township Christmas Party and Touch a Truck event on December 21st. It was a big hit. We had over 100 people that attended it. Mr. and Mrs. Claus made an appearance. We had cookies and hot chocolate, kid activities, and of course Touch a Truck. And we plan on doing this on an annual basis from now on. Next year's party will be at the Civic Center. And that's all I got. Thank you.
And the assessor couldn't be here tonight. He's a little bit under the weather. Collector Fialco, do you have anything?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. Township committee reports, the senior task force, Mike or Angel, or who wants to talk about senior?
Well, I'll talk about the seniors a little bit. We ended 2024, did a lot of events geared towards seniors in health and education. Our big events were obviously the Senior Expo over at Homer Junior High. We actually did it young this year. And 33C is always excited when we approach them for this event. And this year we had 50 vendors and about over 500 seniors walk through our doors. And all of them left, I think, with a smile, food in their stomach, and and looking forward to next year. Our end was having the senior Christmas party, which was at the Crystal Grand and Lamont. And I want to thank the Bafia family for giving us the accommodations and a great program, a great deal to work with to make it a great event. The Lockport Township Choir, it was a choir, right?
Yeah.
Came by and sang some songs for the seniors. And then we had an Elvis impersonator who did a great job. So we entertained the seniors. We gave them a good meal. We had baskets as giveaways for them. And with that, we had 196 seniors show up for the Christmas party. And a special thanks to all the volunteers that come out and help. It's everybody at this table, people in the audience, and it couldn't be done without them. And we always thank the seniors, because without them, these events aren't successful either. Going into this year, our first senior bingo is tomorrow. I want to thank Mucho Salsa for preparing the meals for us for tomorrow. Again, Cross the Glory for giving us the accommodations. And we're looking forward to the Civic Center. Once it's built, we'll be handling some of our events there. And we'll never forget that people have stuck around with us throughout the years, allowing us to have events at their venue. And we will continue to do some things here and there with them. And again, special thanks. That really goes with the report. But again, a special thanks to Angel, Cindy Laha, who's the co-chair with me on the task force. And again, Luann and Mark Arwin, who are always there for me. Vicki, Patty. Dan, Rose, and again, all the vendors in the area that accommodate us for food give us great deals and discounts and stuff. And with the events, we do bring Will County Cares, Will County Health, and all that, people that are there to be able to answer questions, the senior helpers as well. And they come with open arms and answer any questions that the seniors have with senior services that are available to them through Will County and through our organization. So thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on to the Special Needs Committee. Brent or Angel?
Well, Brent discussed this at the town hall with everybody. We did get some ideas on, the necessary programs that people are going to want to see in there, and Brent and I talked about it. We will be pursuing grants now based on the needs of what the parents want for their special needs adults. For their special needs adults and kids. So we'll be starting to pursue grants now and starting to finalize the types of programs that we'll have in there. There'll be a lot of informational programs that Brent's been reaching out to people about. So that's all I got.
Yeah, we have a basic outline on weekly events and activities that we have for the special needs kids and the physically disabled too. We have that as well. And we got some good ideas at our meeting we had on the 9th. We have 2 more meetings to get more input. But the bottom line is some of these programs can be run by volunteers, but you want to have more of an expert in these areas. So because of that, you need money to pay the presenters and the teachers, and that's where the grants come in. We're looking for annual grants to have these special programs for them. That's important.
Okay, the next thing is Land Use Committee. We're going to change the name on the next agenda. We're just going to call it the Township Plan Commission, because that's what it actually is, instead of calling it, because when we had this name, we were using it to do something different, and there was doing multiple things. Now it's just turning into a plan commission, so we're going to have that on as a plan commission, which we already voted on the one thing that we got. We get our things to vote on from the county, because we take care of all the unincorporated part of Homer Township, so whenever there's a project going up, if we object, they have to have a 3/5 vote to pass it. So our plan commission's pretty important, and so we're just going to change it to plan commission. You got that there?
I do, yes.
Okay, then Founders Crossing Task Force, that's Angel and Mike Clausen.
I just want to say thank you to White for helping us finish up that project, getting it done. It's complete, and even though we've had a couple issues with some leaky skylights and everything, White's been good about getting in touch with their contractors for us. So the only thing I want to say is if anybody knows any seniors over there in Founders and they happen to tell you it's getting icy or whatever, the guys salted like 5 times at Founders today. Starting Friday, they shoveled 3 or 4 times at Founders. Saturday, twice at Founders, or 3 times at Founders. It's been pretty bad over there. Also, if you know any other seniors in the area that need help, that need shoveling or driveways salted or whatever, we try to go out and help out whoever we can. I know I have some people on the next block from me, and I know everybody's been doing that. So just kind of be aware of your older people or people that have disabilities that can't shovel, because we're going to have some really bad freezing temps coming up. So that's about it. We're just trying to keep everything clean for everybody right now.
And one of the things I want to look into, I'm going to talk to the high school and find out if they have any people lining up to get community service. So maybe if they are, we can use them to help take care of that snow. But I don't know if it's something that they could do. That's something I got to find out, but that's
And
another
Angel,
avenue.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Angel, I know you mentioned something about some seniors that may need food delivery, considering they're not getting out because of the ice.
Right,
I know
yeah.
you mentioned something
If
about
anybody
that.
knows anybody that, can't get out to get their groceries or whatever,
Right.
just give them, tell them to look on the township and call one of the trustees, and somebody will get them their groceries, because we had a couple people that weren't able to get out this weekend just because they don't drive in this kind of weather, and I wouldn't even want them to try to walk outside in this, so.
Okay, trustee reports. Does anybody else have a report?
I want to, well, if anybody else, I want to say something, it'll be quick, I promise. First of all, I wanted to say something too, and you talked about us saving taxpayer money. One thing with the seniors, I try my best to keep things, where the township doesn't have a lot of responsibility, and then when we go back to the senior Christmas party that way, the Christmas grant, I reached out to a couple of vendors in the area, More Builders, Touch of Green, and a few others, and they donated, they were very, very gracious and very generous with funds for the senior Christmas party, and enable us to have our, I don't know what our final numbers were with that, but very minimal compared to what, based on what we had to offer to them. It was an amazing event. You could have came in a suit and you would have felt at home, comfortable. That's, that's what we presented. And the one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the event we're having at the school with Virtual Stocky. He is a neighbor of mine. He's been doing this with the cyberbullying and protecting children for years. He is a master at it. He's very blunt. He's very outspoken. When I approached this 33C and 205, he hadn't done it for a couple of years. 205 has him under contract. 33C does not. And they were ecstatic with us putting the program together for them. They put everything out in the backpack portal to all the students and all the parents for our event on the 23rd, which does start at 7 p.m. It's incorrect on the sheet here, but it is posted to start at 7 o'clock. And as a side note, Rich, he's on the news all the time. He protects children. He stops school shootings. He really is one of the best. And if you ever have a chance to Google him or go on YouTube to see his videos, again, he's very blunt. He wants the kids to bring their cell phones to these events, and he goes over and he tells them this is what you can't do and you have to be careful. So the whole idea is to protect the children and allow the parents to know what to look for when it comes to these situations. And, you know, there's too many incidents that have happened over cyberbullying and, you know, sexting and sex trafficking, this and that. And he's doing his best to put a stop to it. And I think this event is huge for us. It's an idea that I you know, came to 33C with, and I think it's a home run for us and for the community.
So it's for adults and kids?
It's for adults, yeah, it's for adults and kids.
Okay.
And again, he always tells the kids to bring your cell phones with you.
He's on the Dr. Phil show tomorrow.
And it's tomorrow, it's going to be on Dr. Phil. It's part 2 of a 2-part series. So he does get out there. You know, all the things on the bottom of this thing with Time Magazine, Newsweek and everything. I mean, this guy's known all over the country. He travels all over the United States doing what he does. And he's a retired Naperville policeman, or detective, I should say. So he does a lot of good things for the community. And, you know, I couldn't have asked for a better person to do this for us. So, thank you.
Anybody else?
Steve, I'd like to say something real quick. I would like to give a special thanks to Brent Perfilio for putting on an awesome event at the Road District, a Christmas gathering there with Santa and Mrs. Claus and the kids, and he had the trucks all set up inside. It was a cold day, and it's a really impressive building, by the way. Everything that you've done there is just really clean, and there's no worries. They have
First class.
young people walking around in there because everything is safe and well put away. It's super organized, and all the trucks were in there with the lights on there, and the kids just had a blast walking around there. And it was just a very, very, very cool event. It's something awesome that you did, and
Thanks, Mike.
I'd like to thank you.
Sure, everybody.
I'd like to say one quick thing about the Civic Center too, that Phase 1 is nearly complete. And me personally, I'm super excited for everybody to see the inside of it. It is a really exciting thing to be a part of. I thank the board for letting me be a part of it and to watch over it. And please drive by it and check it out from what you can see outside. It's a really neat project. It's a lot bigger inside than it looks from the street, really. It really is. And even, you know, looking at everything we could do with the seniors, the special needs community, to have a place for them to do that stuff is going to be great. I know kids like playing pickleball too now. It's a big thing, and I know a lot of kids play right over here, and they just can't right now. This would be an awesome thing for them to do. The equipment's cheap. It's just a relatively inexpensive game. They like playing it, and they're going to be able to do it there too. So it's a lot of really exciting things happening. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Move on to accounting. A motion to approve all payment of bills for December 2024. Certificate of deposit, equipment and buildings, Founders Crossing, bond, Founders Crossing General Assistance, Open Space, Park Developer, Park Road and Bridge, and Town.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, I'll take a roll call. Trustee Shape?
Yes.
Trustee Bonoma?
Yes.
Trustee Clausen?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Supervisor College?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, we have no new business. Under old business, I just want to let everybody know that Mr. Pasella has been helping us with our IT stuff, and he doesn't charge us nothing. So we want to thank you, Dominic, very much for what you've done, helping to set our I want to call Dan Pialco out. I know he's no longer going to be running for the village, but he's been quite instrumental helping us with a lot of different projects. So that's important. You know, and same with everybody in the room, not everybody, but most of the people in the room. You know, Chrissy Clausen, Karen Rhodey, John Walters, Jay Rhodey, Luann, You can tell I got a cold or something, you know, but Jimmy's shaking, I don't, I forgot him. But, you know, but anyway, it's nice that you have all these volunteers, and we have a lot more. I'm just going by what I see. But there's a lot of good volunteers, and that's what makes us successful as a township. So thank all the volunteers. Thank you. And then under old business, we have the micro pantries, and we have two of them, one outside the building here and one over by 143rd and Golden Oak in the parking lot of that little bitty shopping center. And we've been having a problem to keep it full, because every time we put food in there, it seems to disappear, and which is a good thing. That means people are using it, but not too many people are putting food back in it. So as a result, you know, the trustees are pretty much, our board would go out and buy stuff and put it in there. Well, it starts to get a little bit costly if you keep doing that all the time. So I talked to the supervisor at Frankfort Township, and Nick George, and he's going to talk with his board, and he thinks there's no problem, and they're going to ship us some food to be putting in, because they have a big giant food pantry. And as far as like a large food pantry, we have the Lockport Fish, and we do it, Mark Garwin does a food drive for that one once or twice a year. So that's where our people go, but people that don't want anyone to see them taking the food, because there's a lot of pride involved with this kind of thing, so they pull up with a Mercedes and they don't have a job and they're losing their house. So they go in the food pantry and they take a couple boxes of cereal, some noodles or soup or whatever's in there. You know, there's people, you can't judge people by what they have. You got to just assume that somebody is not going to go taking food that they don't need. And so if you see people out there and they have a nice car, so what? That don't mean they don't need the food. So I'm going to do my best to make sure we get that thing so it's always stocked, not just once, or, you know, stock it on Monday and by Wednesday it's empty. So I'm going to try and make it so it's stocked all the time. And then next thing would be motion to adjourn.
Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you very much, board.